on Artemis, and where are you as a launch team?
So we are already in work with our preparations as a launch team as we prepare for our launch in a little over a year from now. We have been in the firing room, just last week, I'll say 2 weeks ago, we rolled the ML out to the pad. And as part of that rollout, we went through and we've been doing some of our launch capabilities, our launch tests, our IOP, our ignition overpressure and sound suppression test was a little over a week ago. Where we go through and we test out that capability, make sure that we have it just right for when we start those engines or just prior to engine start and then at liftoff.
A lot of water on the pad.
A lot of water on the pad. We also had the team in here last week and we were going through our day of launch ops, looking at all of the capabilities that we'll use. Because as you notice, we are less dependent on paper than we were in some of the historical programs. And so we have a lot of electronic tools that we're using. We were in here testing those out. We had our simulators and emulators configured so it looked like a day of launch configuration, and we were going through and testing those tools and testing our teams. And so we are on our way. Our preparations are underway as we prepare for Artemis 1.
Well, thanks for the update and for sharing this moment with us. Charlie Blackwell-Thompson, the launch director for Exploration Ground Systems. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
All right, and thank you for joining us to commemorate this 50th anniversary of the Apollo 11 launch from the Kennedy Space Center. As you can see on your screen there, that is Center Director Bob Cabana and Michael Collins from Apollo 11 walking up the pad to the launch tower at 39A. Make sure you stay tuned with us to NASA TV as we continue to look back, but with an eye towards the future, when Artemis will take the first woman and the next man to the moon. And after that, beyond to Mars. That's going to do it for us. For all of us here at NASA, I'm Daryl Nail. We'll see you next time. But until then, keep looking up.
went to the moon. Whoa, 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 whoa. Did you see that hot chick over there? Oh, my. Oh, sorry. Play the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, P. Dawg Knight. And stop the music. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. It's me, Marty, aka P. Dawg Knight, your host for today and every day on the P. Dawg Knight channel. I got my cup of reparations coffee. Today I was going to try to talk about happy things today because I got into this long rant yesterday. And so I went onto Twitter and I just decided, just do a little preemptive look at what's trending today. And what's cool is today I saw that it's the 50th anniversary of the launch of Apollo 11. Now, how old was I? I was 5 years old when Apollo 11 launched. I mean, this was so huge. And for me, I'm just a little kid at the time. So I guess you don't necessarily know the impact that this has on the world because you really don't know much. There's no development up here in the frontal lobe, and you just see this as an event. But it is still cool. It's the first time you're going to the moon, so it's significant. And everyone's huddled around the TV, watching the monitors, watching what's going on, and it's just amazing that was 50 years ago. It was Neil Armstrong. I had Collins. I can't remember Collins and Buzz Aldrin. What was Collins? Michael Collins. That's it. Buzz Aldrin, Michael Collins, Neil Armstrong get into this piece of metal and decide that they're going to be hurtled through the sky out of the atmosphere into space. And they're going to land this relatively tiny speck of dust in comparison to the vast universe that we live in onto a rock moving through the sky. Now granted, the rock, relative to where we are, it's not moving that fast. But man, you got to figure there's a whole lot of physics and a whole lot of mathematics involved. And there's a whole team that had to figure all this stuff out, and they've been doing, space launches for, years. But man, just an amazing human feat, an amazing American feat, and pretty cool stuff. So that's my top story today. It's the Apollo 11 mission. 50 years ago today, Apollo 11 began its voyage into American history. The Saturn V rocket carrying astronauts Neil Armstrong, Edwin Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins launched from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida at 9:32 a.m. on July 6th, 1969. So, and just 4 days later, man first set foot on the moon. The moon mission was a milestone in human history. So basically, just we missed the launch time by about 40 minutes compared to where we are now, and plus 50 years. So in 1969, the crew of the Apollo 11 embarked on humanity's most audacious mission, one that would become our greatest achievement. Looking forward to this week's Apollo 50 celebrations and talking about plans to return to the moon. So there we go. There's the three men that were on that flight, and it's really, really, really cool. Yeah, you're right, Sarah. The space race led to a lot of very useful tech, including everyone's favorite Velcro. Good morning, everybody. Let's say hi to those who are in the chat already. Good morning, Rolling Bear. Rolling Bear gets the bell because you were here first. Good morning. Good morning, Hammer Time, a.k.a. MC. Hello, Tyler F., Jason Burns, Sarah, my lovely moderator, and Dawg, all you need, Seamus Derby. People are rolling in slowly, but you know what? You don't have to roll in fast. Just as long as you get here, or if you drop by when we're done, the replays are going to be on the good old YouTube. So, but more on the, let's see, now there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. So apparently they're going to have a big 50th anniversary party at the Kennedy Space Center. Lots of things going on there. Just the history, though, that they're putting on here. NASA's putting a lot of stuff online. To fuel a big day of spaceflight, the Apollo 11 crew ate a pre-flight breakfast of steak, eggs, toast, juice, and coffee. In 1969. Now, the other thing about this too, hello Kevin Duggan, what's happening? The thing about this, these guys, they knew their mission, but you just don't know this. Back then, this was one of those things that nobody done it. Nobody knew what they expected when they got on the moon. They had telescopes and saw the terrain and kind of knew where they wanted to land. And but even when they touched down. I think they only had they had fuel for the trip there, and they had fuel for the trip back, and they had to. They landed that craft with about 30 seconds worth of their fuel designed for landing the mission left. So, it's just an amazing thing. Traditional pre-launch steak and egg breakfast with our boss, Deke Slayton. That's Michael Collins. He has his Twitter. I think I follow Buzz Aldrin on Twitter. He's actually pretty interesting guy to follow every once in a while when he tweets. But this is Michael Collins. Check out more food facts from the Apollo missions at this website here. Go on the Apollo 50 hashtag, hashtag Apollo 50. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on there. 50 years ago today, Apollo 11 rocket in space. This is the letter that the White House prepared in the event that Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin did not survive the mission. And this is to H.R. Haldeman from Bill Sapphire. I wish I could make this bigger. In the event of moon disaster, fate has ordained that the men who went to the moon to explore in peace will stay on the moon to rest in peace. This is a case that didn't come back. These brave men, Neil Armstrong and Edwin Aldrin, know that there is no hope for their recovery, but they also know that there is hope for mankind in their sacrifice. These two men are laying down their lives in mankind's most noble goal, the search for truth and understanding. They will be mourned by their families and friends. They will be mourned by the nation. They will be mourned by the people of the world. They will be mourned by the Mother Earth and dared send two of her sons to the unknown. In their exploration, they stirred the people of the world to feel as one in their sacrifice. They bind more tightly the brotherhood of man. In ancient days, men looked at stars and saw their heroes in the constellations. In modern times, we do much the same, but our heroes are epic men of flesh and blood. So yeah, it's one of those things that it was not a given that they were going to be able to, it wasn't a given that they were coming back from this mission, so they were prepared for just about anything. Hello, Maddie, good morning. So here's more. 50 years ago today, in the early hours, Neil Armstrong, Michael Collins, and Buzz Aldrin suited up with the assistance of a spacesuit technician in preparation for their historic journey to the moon. Pretty cool picture there. Let's see. Apparently, there's a crucial role Huntsville, Alabama, and German scientist Dr. Werner von Braun played in the historic Apollo landing mission. There's all kinds of videos and reports on here. As the first humans stepped onto the moon. The whole world watched it on. I know I was, and I was, like I said, I was 5 years old. I remember watching this. My parents, when it would have been 4 days from now. So July 20th is when they actually landed on the moon. It was a 4-day journey through space, and just watching. They had cameras on the sides of the ship, and you can see you're watching the stage rockets fall off. I mean, it's just fascinating watching this, and everyone just thought it was cool. Here we go. As we reflect on Apollo 50, we remember the women who made it possible. Judy Sullivan was the lead engineer for the Apollo 11 biomedical system. During the countdown, she monitored the astronauts' biomedical data. She was the only woman in the room. That's pretty cool to know. I did not know that. Let's see. The mission covered 240,000 miles over the course of 3 days and changed mankind's outlook on space forever. It's funny because you see the pictures of the computers and things. Here, we'll put this on, unless it has some music. I might have to cut it if it has music. And it has music, but we can still look at this. We'll take that out because I'm not going to take the music. I don't want to take well, I guess it doesn't matter. I'm not monetized anyway. But yeah, you're looking at the old computers they use, the monitors, the whole thing. It's just amazing that they did this in 1969. Showing how the elevator of the rocket, Saturn V, and and they had cameras everywhere. It's funny because they had cameras, and all these photos they were going back and forth on the TV. It's funny because the other thing back then there were 3 major networks and there was public television, and then various cities might have had some local UHF stations, but NASA had one feed. All the networks were on this feed. You could not watch anything else. It was the most amazing historic thing at the time. It was super cool. So there you go. Anyway, so happy anniversary to the 3 men who actually made the journey and all the technicians. I mean, there's hundreds of technicians that were involved, and so it was a very, very amazing time. Hey, you sold your house? Sarah, congratulations. Yeah, apparently you were. I didn't know your house was for sale. But congrats. That's awesome. Hey, Della Hayes, good morning. I see you jumped in. Nice to see you this morning. So, yeah, that's very cool. The moon landing, the launch of Apollo 11 was a big damn deal. And so a great celebration at NASA in Florida. Kennedy Center in Florida. Now, speaking of giants, oh my gosh, Twitter yesterday was fantastic. It was just amazing. Now I watched something happen in real time. Because I got home in the afternoon and I watched something happen in real time that only can it's modern first world. Just I don't even know how to describe this. So yesterday I'm on Twitter and I follow. Well, I had him as a guest on the show. I follow my dude Vibe High, aka Hotep Jesus. Now, a few days ago, Mike Pence visited the detention facility down in Texas. I think it was Texas. Whatever detention facility he went to, and there happened to be some photographs from that visit. And in one of the photographs, there was a Customs and Border Patrol agent that just happened to be photographed. A young lady who was fairly attractive. And my friend Vibe High, a.k.a. Hotep Jesus, happened to notice that. And a lot of people happened to notice it. And she started getting the moniker of Ice Bae. As in, Ice Bae, whatever. And so I'm on Twitter, and I just happened to refresh let me see if I can find it. In fact, let's just do this. Here we go. There's Vibe High right here. I happen to... I clicked on Twitter just as... I wish I could find... Well, let's just put it this way. As I clicked on Twitter, this woman, Ice Bae... Hang on, I'm gonna find her. Where's her name? Let me find her. Because the whole thing is cracking me up. Doggone it, where's her name? She put herself on Twitter here. It was hilarious. Okay, here it is. This young lady decided to tweet to Vibe High, but she didn't have a Twitter account. She opened a Twitter account. She tweeted to my man Vibe High. Oh my God, where is it? Oh, did she delete one already? Did she delete the tweet? Oh, here we go. Here, we'll just put this on screen as I'm looking for this. She tweets to Vibe High that yes, she is a real person, and tweets a little video to him. Now I don't know what happened to it. Looks like is it gone? Huh? What happened? She had tweeted specifically to him. Anyway, so she tweets a little video to him.
So I literally just woke up.
Hang on. Well, looks like it's gone. I don't know what happened, but she tweets to Vibe High, tweets this little video to him, and God darn it! Now I'm mad because, oh, here we go. I bet it's here now. All right, her very first tweet. Okay, so this is it. This is her very first tweet. So it's crazy, but here I am. I'm hearing something about a viral picture. I'd like to say that I was just doing my job, providing security for the visit of the vice president. It was an honor, and I take pride in my job. Now, I'm not going to show you the replies because, oh boy, there's some people who just hate this woman already. And so she tweets out this picture of her, okay, and that's her. Nice looking gal. She's attractive. She's a good girl, good looking girl. Then, oh boy. So she tweets to Vibe High this video. Yes, I'm real. Okay. Now so far, she still only follows 2 people on Twitter. I'll explain a little bit about that in a bit. So she tweets this video to Vibe High, saying, yes, I'm a real person. And this is me. And she tweets this little video. So we'll watch this video real quick. I'll start over here.
So I literally just woke up, went to get something to eat, and saw that I needed to make a video so y'all could believe that it's me. It's me. I'm a customs officer based in Texas. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. So I literally just woke up, went to get something to eat, and saw that I needed to make a video so y'all could believe that it's me. It's me. Okay,
so she's confirming that it's her, and she ends up following Hotep Jesus. And so Hotep Jesus starts this hashtag Ice Bae, and they start. Let's put it this way. Oh, what did I do? Okay, what happened here? I did not mean to close that. Okay, here we go. So in one day, now she follows Vibe High, and then she was trying to figure out how to do direct message or something. So then the CJ Pearson, who's another dude on Twitter, sends her a message, and just does it, sends another message, and so she follows him. She follows two people on Twitter now. One of them is Hotep Jesus, and one of them is, God damn it, stop doing this. There she is. Okay, hold up. Is CJ Pearson. But she now has 38,000 or 33,000 followers in one day. That hashtag blew up so fast. It got to trending up to number 5 on Twitter. Now, a lot of it is a lot of thirsty guys. Because, well, let's put it this way. So she's blown up all day. And there are people furious about this. Half of it was people talking about, hey, nice looking gal, blah, this and that, trying to making jokes, and half is people just pissed off because this Customs and Border Patrol agent is on Twitter just for being on Twitter. Okay, but she even ends up on RT, and she ends up on Twitter trends. So RT, it's Russia Today. I laugh because I said, even the Russian bots are noticing Ice Bay. Past the ice, sizzling hot border protection agent causes viral sensation, includes photos. With the debate raging over the Trump administration's hard-line immigration policies, some netizens pause to reflect on more important news. The female Customs and Border Patrol agent who went viral as Ice Bay. The woman in question was photographed providing security for Vice President Mike Pence during his visit to a migrant detention center in McAllen, Texas on Friday. Appearing on the opposite side of the fence from a crowd of detained illegal immigrants, the scene may have been the most tasteless glamour shoot of all time, but the internet could not get enough. So this was the original photos that people caught her in the photo with all the illegal immigrants behind the fence and her there protecting the vice president. It's interesting. So they're talking about how, these dudes they didn't have a shower for days and there and this and that. These guys look awfully clean. Anyway, I digress. Though she trended as Ice Bay, the woman in blue actually works for Customs and Border Protection and came forth to identify herself on Twitter as Kiara C. Still only following Hotep Jesus and CJ Pearson. Posing in a low-cut shirt, Kiara posted the video that got pulses racing among Trump support. No, it was not just Trump supporters. I'm sorry. I was watching that hashtag all day, and it wasn't Trump supporters, okay? There was a lot of brothers. A lot of brothers like Ice Bay, but it was not Trump supporters. Come on now. Followed by a snap of her dressed in her more modest work attire. So again, there's the video she posted, basically to Hotep Jesus. Directly to him to prove that she's real. And then this is the second photo she posted. After setting up her Twitter account on Monday morning, Kiara had amassed more than 4,200 followers by that afternoon. Now it's 33,000 followers. And this is at Hotep Jesus. Holy shit, Ice Bay is real, tweeted pro-Trump commentator Hotep Jesus. I think I'm coming down with a case of undocumentation. I just burned all my documentation and I need to be inspected, tweeted another. Controversial as Trump's detention policies are by themselves, Kiara is sure to attract hate. Oh, hell, she did. Oh, good Lord. As well as open mouth stares for her role in enforcing them. Now, I see someone, shame. Oh, good morning, Maniac Man. How you doing? Oh, God, man, until the 31st. Well, man, I hope you get through it until then. Man, he went to hospital. Oh, got some steroid. Dude, I hope everything's get better, man. Get to that pain clinic. I got to do that too for my hip, man. I'm getting old. Oh man, I don't know. I ran into a person at work who had a hip replacement. I'm thinking I might just get a preemptive one. Okay. Thirsty Boy. She's pretty hot. Hey, all you need. How you doing? Good morning, Chadwick Dupree. Nice to have you in the show. Yeah, you know what? Here's the thing. This is just her with no makeup on. She woke up like that. So she looks pretty good with no makeup on. And she's an attractive lady, works out, whatever. So the other thing I want to do, though, man, did she get some damn hate. Now, we'll just go into the hashtag here. So, Hotep Jesus in the top, because he's the one who started it. Ice Bay trending in the USA. Vibe high, aka Hotep Jesus, is one powerful man. Now, all these people were mad. Of course, the prison dude that trended a couple years ago. So this guy can trend, but Ice Bay can't. Just because you aren't attracted to her doesn't mean you should bash her or blame black men. It's enough now. Yeah, black men were taking a beating. Now, some people, when I first laid my eyes on Ice Bay, oh, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. Thank you, Lord. And then someone says someone better be designing and printing Ice Bay shirts right now. Could easily be a quick 10K. Maybe I would promote. This Ice Bay trend is the reason why Twitter is amazing. I wake up and see that Ice Bay is trending. Man, Vibe High almost broke the internet. Somebody had to make this one, though. That's hilarious. Oh, I'm doing. It's not trending on Twitter anymore, but not only is she pretty, but she has a job they despise. Yeah, that's the truth. I'm telling you. All right, look at here. Yeah, you got to change. Yeah, Blur, you got to change the setting to a higher resolution, watch resolution, which I haven't even done on mine. Plus, I am not. I'm not in the. I still haven't upgraded this computer, so it might be choppy here and there. But I want to show you some of the people who got mad though. About to follow Ice Bay just to be controversial, since people being angry about her is what brought her to my. Oh, it trended because people were mad she was trending. Okay, from Heavy.com. Ice Bay is trending after some Twitter users noticed Custom Officer Kiara Cervante. She's Hispanic, too. You know that 80% of the Custom and Border Patrol agents are Hispanic? Do you know that? I did not know that. It's amazing. Then she created a Twitter account to respond to the attention. Black woke Twitter is mad at black men again. Episode 345, The Rise of Ice Bay. Oh, man. Some people were just... I want to show you some of the triggered ones, though. I want to show you some triggered ones because some of these people were pissed off. Let's see. Some people make a tribute. Every guy in my feed today after seeing Ice Bay. CJ Pearson, I am an undocumented immigrant. Who wore it? Oh, here's one. Who wore it better? Ice Bay. Got her there, and then some German officers. So there's some of the hate starting to show through. Now a lot of people saluting Hotep Jesus for starting this. Feeling cute might separate families at the concentration camp later. Oh, that's not sarcastic. Oh. Families are trapped in literal concentration camps, and there are mountains of video, photo, written evidence of this. Mountains? What? Hello, check your logic. And the one thing y'all took from it was that fucking ICE guard was attractive. For fuck's sakes, we really ain't shit. Oh, what y'all look like drooling over Ice Bay? She's a Nazi, George. A Nazi. I know. Kind of a cute Nazi, though. These people are pissed off. Let's see what's trending today. Oh, what the hell is Ice Bay? Oh, I see. I'm done with y'all. Throwing his computer out the window. Oh, my God. Oh, yes. Ice Bay is such a cute name for someone who puts black and brown children in cages. We really will have to leave some of you behind. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I know that some people are mad about what's going on at the border for different reasons. I'm mad at what's going on at the border too. The fact that we can't figure out how to stop the flow of illegal immigrants, or at least make it so they, make it some way that we can know who's coming to the country. You don't know. People are like, oh, just let them go. Just let them go. You can't. You don't know what diseases, what things they're immunized against, what things they bring in. I mean, like the kids who have died. The kids who have died. And God bless these people. But the kids who have died didn't die because of something we did to them. They died because of a journey they took and got sick. And in most cases, we've been died heroically trying to save them, moving them from hospital to specialist to this and that. I mean, and it's the fact that it's so overwhelming. Oh, what do you do with them? Oh, do you put them in a hotel? I don't know, man. Hi, Richard, how you doing? Oh, here's a question I have for y'all too, because I maybe one of you knows the answers. A lot of times you know the answers to things I don't know. So as far as these detention facilities, so they got all these people coming over the border, and we're putting them in these detention facilities. Do any of you know, off the top of your head, I heard heard earlier today, or maybe yesterday, that the people who are in these detention facilities had an option, or still have the option, to be deported, go back to where they were, at least back through Mexico or whatever, or to stay in the detention facilities and wait for whatever processing they have to do. Do any of you know the answer if that is true or not? Do these people have the right? So it's not like they have to stay. My understanding is that they do not have to stay in these detention facilities if they had to leave. If they left, if they decide to leave, they're not forced to stay in these detention centers unless they want to stay and wait to process. Is that correct? Anybody? They can cross back to their home country at any time. That's what Sarah says. Made a clip and uploaded to my channel. Here, let me go to your channel, Maddie. Is on and here, I'll just don't have to see me make sausage here. Oh shoot, what did I do here? I thought I had you already in here. Manny, what's your channel? Or here, I can just click it here. Duh. That's silly. I wonder if I can right click it though. Go to channel. There we go. Right click and a new tab. There we go. All right. Let me check this clip real quick. We're going to throw one of Maddie's clips up here. As soon as my slow ass internet. Is it which one is it? Of the OIG Oh, I see. I'm gonna I'll have to watch that. I'll have to watch that later. I didn't know it was 38 minutes. Yeah, I just did. I did click her name there. I wouldn't know what I was thinking. In fact, I'm gonna subscribe while I'm here. I'm gonna ring that bell. I've watched a couple of your videos and I always forget to subscribe. All right, we'll check that later. But anyway, all right. Yeah. So these terrible, awful places, these detainment centers where they're so, they're forced to stay in these horrid conditions where they have probably better conditions than they were on the road for 3 months walking through Mexico. And yes, there is fresh water, and they don't have to drink out of toilets because that's a lie. Yeah, so they can leave. They have that option to leave. And in fact, okay, so now let's get off of Ice Bay because although if I was single and a lot younger, I don't know if I'd ever want to get off Ice Bay. Oh, here, let me just I'm going to put this right up here because I scrolled through this. Right as I told that joke, I scrolled to this. Because that's how bad the joke was. Oh, by the way, y'all have reached unimaginable levels of horny to be thirsting over Ice Bay. 'Tis a sad world we live in. Y'all will hype up any and every light skin if she would lock up her own. What the F do you think she would do to y'all niggas? A trap house would be raided with a quickness. Ice Bay. Oh my gosh. There's so many. You got to go through the hashtag and just see so many people. But this is the funniest. So, Hotep Jesus, I'll do this the last thing I'm going to say about this. Hotep Jesus tweeted this out. Y'all got to have all left-wing Twitter having convulsions in my mentions for posting these. But it's worth it. Ice Bay. So, here's one. Oh, she's Hispanic. Is Ice Bay black or she's Hispanic? She's a Hispanic sister. Oh my gosh, the internet is amazing. It is just amazing sometimes how fast this went. I mean, this thing went nuts yesterday. I'm just telling you. All right, speaking of immigration though, let's get in a little chat about. Let's talk about just a couple things that are happening here. Let's see, go into my bookmarks. Now, an interesting thing I read in this morning that I had to check out. First of all, Attorney General William Barr invoked Code 1158A2A, a multilateral treaty that declares Mexico a safe third country. So now all asylum seekers will be sent legally to Mexico for their hearing. Better news, no court shall have jurisdiction to review any determination under the AG or by the AG under A2. So meaning that now they can actually send, apparently they can send a lot of these people to be processed in Mexico. Here's the other thing. So the rules, as you know, if you heard yesterday. So Trump, again, got all these news people and all the pundits and everybody kind of looking the other way with his comments about the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, the squad, so childish. And while he was doing that, he also announced new asylum restrictions. And there's going to be lawsuits coming. So this is from CNS News. The American Civil Liberties Union on Monday announced its intention to sue the Trump administration when new asylum restrictions are published in the Federal Register on Tuesday. Now, here's the funny thing, though. They're not necessarily new rules, okay? They're actually what's in the law right now. Now, especially the thing about having people do their the safe third country rule, where Mexico is the safe third country, and they can do all the processing there. But anyway, let's read this. The Trump administration is trying to unilaterally reverse our country's legal and moral commitment to protect those fleeing danger. This new rule is patently unlawful, and we will sue swiftly, the ACLU said in a statement Monday morning. Yeah, the new rule issued by the Department of Justice and Homeland Security will, according to the White House, enhance the integrity of the asylum process by placing further restrictions or limitations on eligibility for aliens who seek asylum in the United States. In other words, they're going to enforce the actual rules of asylum. Under the interim rule, most aliens will be ineligible for asylum if they pass through another country on their way to the U.S. border without applying for protections in that country. Meaning, all these people who are coming up through Central America, they've been offered asylum in Mexico. I don't know if you do that. I'm sure most of the people who watch here know that. But they've been offered asylum by Mexico. They're not applying for asylum in Mexico. They're applying for asylum here because it's this is a whole economic thing. Now, they're not applying for asylum. They don't give asylum is you're trying to escape some danger. Okay? So here's the deal. Aliens will have to show they applied for protection and were denied in at least one country that they passed through on their way to the U.S. If you're seeking asylum, you shouldn't You don't get, well, I'd rather have asylum there, not here, because I'm in danger, but, that I like that country better. No, you're applying for asylum to get away from some danger. Aliens covered by the rule will not be eligible for asylum in the U.S. unless they are victims of trafficking, persecution, or torture. This rule is a lawful exercise of authority provided by Congress to restrict eligibility for asylum, Attorney General William Barr said in a statement. The United States is a generous country, but is being completely overwhelmed by the burdens associated with apprehending and processing hundreds of thousands of aliens along the southern border. This rule will decrease forum shopping by economic migrants and those who seek to exploit our asylum system to obtain entry into the United States, while ensuring that no one is removed from the United States who is more likely than not to be tortured, persecuted on account of protected ground, Barr said. A White House fact sheet noted that asylum is a discretionary benefit offered by the United States government to those fleeing persecution on account of race, religion, nationality, membership in a particular social group, or political opinion. Acting Homeland Security Secretary Kevin McAleenan said the interim rule will help reduce a major pull factor that is driving hundreds of thousands of people to flood into the United States every month without valid asylum claims. And that's just it. Right now, 20%, is it like 20% of the asylum claims are actually valid, or less than 20%? I don't know. It's not very many. And now we have, these hundreds of thousands of people who are in these detention facilities just overloading the system. And, and you got the four horse, I almost called the four horse faces. The four horsemen, or the squad, or whatever the hell you want to call those for, they're screaming and yelling about, the horrid conditions, but they're the ones who don't want to vote for any of the funding. It's funny because I was listening to one of their speeches online, and she was talking about how the horrid conditions and the dreadfully underfunded facilities. Well, who funds the facilities? That would be Congress. And who voted against funding the facilities? Oh, Miss Cortez, Miss Ocasio-Cortez, you voted to not fund those facilities. What are you going to do? So there you go. Let's see. All right. So there you go. Yeah, that's fascinating. So anyway, yeah, they're gonna start using the laws that are written and try to alleviate some of this. The thing is, again, the law that the rule that they had to have at least had attempted to seek asylum in a country they passed through and been rejected before they can seek asylum here. That makes sense. That's what asylum is. If you're escaping some kind of persecution, you should be applying for asylum in the first country that you can escape that persecution from. You should not be able to travel through 3 or 4 countries before you apply for asylum. That's almost an international thing. Or apply for asylum the right way in an embassy along that route. You don't just cross the border illegally and when you get caught say, "Oh my gosh, I want asylum." That's the advice they're getting from the, what is it? Is it People Without Borders that have been organized in the caravans? So yeah, I mean, I know I'm probably preaching to the choir here. I know I'm preaching to the choir. Can I buy your t-shirt saying the Goon Squad will make the Gulag fade a what? Fade agi? I'm not sure what that is. Anyway. Anyway. You can only seek asylum when you go through port of entry. Well, yeah, in theory, but all these people are, they have these there's people down on the other side of the border telling them what to say when they're caught, and they're told to say immediately, "Oh, we need asylum." Well, yeah, you're supposed to do that through a port of entry, but we want asylum. Okay, well, we're gonna detain you until we figure out what the hell to do to you, and it's frustrating. Let's get on moving on. More news about. Oh, by the way, the Tacoma ice attacker. So the guy that some people attacked a facility in Colorado. They tore down the American flag. They tore down the Blue Lives Matter flag. Flew the Mexican flag, and they were attacking this ice facility. And so one guy decided that he was armed. He had some rifles with him, and he had some Molotov cocktails that he was throwing and trying to blow up a propane tank. And anyway, so there's some news about him. Now, this is Breitbart. Breitbart obviously is a right-wing site, but I don't care. I'm going to read it anyway. Tacoma ice attacker urges leftists to ignore laws and arm themselves. Interesting. A 69-year-old man who attacked a Tacoma, Washington, not Colorado. Tacoma, Washington ice facility Saturday left behind a manifesto in which he urged leftists to ignore the laws in order to arm themselves. The Washington Post reports that the attacker, Willem von Spronsen, threw lit objects at buildings and at cars in the parking lot, police said, causing a vehicle to go up in flames. 4 Tacoma police officers engaged Spronsen, opening fire on him and ending his life. No ICE personnel were injured. Spronsen left behind a manifesto which stressed he was using a gun that is highly regulated in Washington state, saying, "I am not affiliated with any organization. I have disaffiliated from any organizations who disagree with my choice of tactics. The semi-automatic weapon I used was a cheap, home-built, unregistered Ghost AR-15, had 6 magazines. A Ghost AR-15 is a rifle that collectors and firearm enthusiasts will build in their own homes. Some states require that such guns be registered, some do not. On May 7th, K5 News reported that Washington state completely banned 3D printed guns and retained tight restrictions on ghost guns." So this guy, let's see, he also used his manifesto to encourage fellow leftists to arm themselves. He went so far as to urge them to ignore laws for firearm acquisitions if they can get away with it, saying, "I strongly encourage comrades and incoming comrades to arm themselves. We are now responsible for defending people from the predatory state. Ignore the laws of arming yourself if you have the luxury I did." Kind of fascinating. He's calling for arms. And it's funny. Some people have described him as part of Antifa. I don't know if, anyone could call themselves Antifa. There's no real organization. But he, well, here, let's go on to this other one, because this is Tucker Carlson's take on it. Carlson elaborated Monday on what he observed from the left side of the political spectrum, including the Freudian idea that whatever they say you're doing is precisely what they are doing. I really think Antifa was maybe the moment when I figured it out. I really think Antifa was maybe the moment when I figured, I don't know what that means. The guys who are literally armed with steel bars and have black masks on are calling other people fascists. The name Antifa is supposed to represent an organization which is anti-fascism, but Carlson points out the fact that they act more like fascists than anyone. He continued to describe what the left fears about themselves, they will transfer onto you. He stated that once you understand the concept of what the left is doing, it applies to almost anything. It's the Rosetta Stone for their behavior. And if you're me, the most brilliant of it all is, you're a racist. You're a racist. I guess at this point I should just admit it, but I'm actually not, said Carlson. I make an affirmative case against racism like all the time on my show. Okay, I don't remember. That's not the article I wanted to read. But anyway, it's funny. I hear constantly well, they're anti-fascists and all they do is throw milkshakes. I mean, you shouldn't have to worry about a milkshake. Well, bullshit. I mean, since 2015, for 4 years, we've been watching Antifa attack people in the streets, attacking Trump rallies, attacking free speech rallies, attacking speakers at college campuses, attacking people in Portland. And granted, now the other thing is, now these, someone the other day was talking about, oh, I'll never go to Portland. I'll never go to Portland. I was just in Portland, okay? This is not something that, think of the size of your city and think of like one park in your city where this shit goes on. Is that your whole city? No. Even if the guys who have the rallies, now we were even in this Pioneer Plaza where they like to have the free speech rallies, and then Antifa comes and it's all a hot mess. Well, there was nothing going on there that day. And it was kind of a nice place, and Portland was a pretty nice city. And, we went to some local restaurants. We went out and looked at waterfalls. We went to this great Japanese garden and things. Portland's a great city, and it's not the whole damn city that's overrun by these people. At certain times, someone will have a rally, and those assholes will show up too. And I think they're all playing off each other. In fact, I saw one video where they literally, apparently the Antifa guys went over to the bar where the Patriot Prayer guys were. And kind of caused a ruckus. And then the Patriot Prayer guys went over to the bar where the Antifa guys were hanging out and started, yelling at them. They're all egging each other on. And they literally had, it was almost like watching frickin' West Side Story, okay? They decided that they were going to decide who gets the park that day by having two guys fight in the street. So it was literally, I wanted to start singing show tunes about it. They had two guys, one from Antifa and one from Patriot Prayer, literally fighting there while all the other guys were just yelling and cheering them on and whatever. And the Antifa guy wins the fight, and so they get to take over the park that day. All right, they're two peas in a fucking pod. But anyway, I digress. This shit's getting scary. And I gotta say, part of the problem is when you start calling people Nazis, fascists, saying that the concentration camps, that forcing people to drink out of toilets, which is bullshit, we know. It's going to escalate. And this guy who attacked the facility in Washington with firebombs, and he had rifles with him and things like that. I'm nervous that we're going to start seeing more of that stuff. And I'm sorry, but the people who are in law enforcement are going to have more weapons, and someone else. And I'm surprised they haven't already made this guy a martyr. Maybe they will. Although I think maybe some people, because now I've watched videos of Ocasio-Cortez and Ilhan Omar and Rashid Tlaib, and what's the other one? The fourth one. I always forget her name. She's the mom. She's the only one that's a real politician too. Presley or Ariana Presley or something like that. She's the one who's actually been in government for a while and knows what she's doing. The other three are kind of just thrown in there. Although Omar was in the Minnesota State Legislature for a while too. Oh yeah, Max Del Rio, Sean King too. Sean King is trying. We'll get into Sean King in a minute too. Anyway, so here's but these people are just more people are gonna get hurt. More people are gonna attack things. Someone's gonna die that they care about, because this is an old white guy. So Ariana Presley, yeah. So it's hard for them to get fired up for the old white guy, but somebody young and either black or Hispanic or female is going to get killed attacking one of these facilities, and then the whole damn hell is going to break loose. So anyway, here's the article that I meant to read. GOP rep shreds Democrat leftist radicals after visiting attacked ICE facility. Republican Texas Representative Chip Roy praised law enforcement and ripped congressional Democrats on Monday after he toured a Colorado immigration and customs enforcement facility that was recently desecrated by ICE protesters. I saw the horrible news about what occurred, and I felt like I needed to go over there and see for myself what was at this facility, Roy said while appearing on Fox and Friends. I went over, and ICE was kind enough to give me a tour of the facility. I walked through and saw what many Americans would see, which is a law enforcement entity doing their job. He continued, a facility that is clean, a facility that has medical facilities, that has ping pong tables, it has TV set up for 1,200 individuals, many of whom are criminals. Roy, who came to Colorado to attend a Western Conservative Summit, decided to tour the Aurora-based detention center on Saturday after hundreds of demonstrators protested the facility only one day prior. The demonstration ignited a firestorm after protesters replaced an American flag with a Mexican flag outside the ICE facility. And what the hell is that? I understand that you don't like what's happening in your country, but that doesn't mean you put up the flag of another damn country. I mean, that makes no sense. Who are you winning over by doing that? They also ripped down a Blue Lives Matter flag and spray painted Abolish ICE before flying it upside down, symbolizing distress. To have a bunch of people to go in and attack this facility and rush this facility and pull down the flags, turn the American flag upside down, and rise up the Mexican flag, that is offensive, Roy said. I was proud to see Americans who went by all day and dropped off American flags. I was proud to see the American flag flying. The thing is, I'm going to skip down here. 4 House Democrats, New York Representative Alexandria Cortez, Minnesota Rep. Ilhan Omar, Representative Rashida Tlaib, and Massachusetts Rep. Ariana Presley voted against the funding bill, stating that they would not vote for any legislation funding ICE or Customs and Border Protection. So, hey, you want to know why these facilities are underfunded? You seem to be part of the problem. And I still have yet to see any 4 of these proposed legislative solution. Isn't that what they're supposed to be doing in Congress? They're not there to be, waving the bloody shirt. They're supposed to be, oh my God, I can't believe I will say, well, I'm going to say it, but don't take this the wrong way. They're supposed to be washing the bloody shirt. Or making a new shirt that's not bloody through legislation. Okay, not that they're supposed to be in the house washing clothes. I do all the laundry in my house, so I can't say that. So this guy continues. I'm former law enforcement. I was a federal prosecutor. My grandfather was a chief of police in a small town in Texas. I stand with law enforcement, Roy said. I don't know what my Democrat colleagues want to say, but I stand with American law enforcement. I stand for the rule of law. I'm not going to watch the American flag get trashed by a bunch of people who do not respect the United States of America. And he's long argued that Democrats are ignoring the immigration crisis in the U.S.-Mexican border. Prior to even taking office, Roy contended that Democrats have blood on their hands over the lack of border security. Look, you talk about the kids who have died while in our care and custody, whatnot, or the people who have died, and they keep trotting out the 7 kids, and the picture of the guy and his son who died in the river, who weren't even in our custody. Can you imagine how many dead people there are along the way on that journey, and how many people, like the coyotes and the drug dealers and things that pretty much control north of Mexico, the north part of Mexico, who are, allowing these people to go through their territories. How many dead bodies there are? Because if before President Trump became president, along the border, a lot of these farmers and ranchers are finding dead bodies in their property every day of people trying to get across into the United States. They're finding dead bodies on our side of the border. So there's lots of dead bodies in that terrain south of the border, people trying to come up in here. But nobody's talking about that, because you're too busy standing on the graves of the 7 kids who died while in our custody during the Trump administration. People have been dying to get into this country because we have no deterrent for them to try to do it. You know, and like I said the other day, I'm not, you know, the wall, the concept of it makes sense. It's got, whether it's a physical wall or some kind of deterrence from crossing that border illegally, until there's something there that stops people from doing that, it doesn't matter what laws you pass in immigration, because they're going to keep coming, and they're going to keep coming, and they're going to keep coming. And unfortunately, we can't take everybody. I wish we could. I wish, you know, but we can't, you know. And there's got to be a system so that we know who's coming, we know that they are, you know, they, first of all, they want to be part of this country. 2, they got to make sure that we know they're not bringing in diseases, you know, that we know who they are. We got to make sure they're not criminals. And because we know that we know they're not all criminals. We already know that. We know that, but right now, when there's no way to track how they're coming here, some of them are criminals. Some of them are bringing drugs. Some of them are trafficking other human beings. 30% of the kids that come across the border with a adult are not related to that adult. We're finding that out through DNA evidence. 30% of the kids who are coming across with an adult are not related to that adult. They're trafficking unaccompanied children. And some of them are being recycled over the border. And then we're also getting unaccompanied children. So when they're talking about kids in cages, which is bullshit. Yes, they're in detention facilities or care facilities for the most part. It's not because we're separating families, although some of them are. I'm sorry, some of them are. You know what? Like I said the other day, if Kamala Harris is the Democrat representative or presidential candidate, if she's the Democrat nominee for president against President Trump, Kamala Harris separated a lot of children from their parents. You know how? Because she was trying to put people in jail when their kids skip school for truancy, or whenever she prosecuted anyone. When she prosecuted a criminal and sent them to jail, was she separating them from their children? Yes, she was. When they were charged with a crime and they were in jail while they waited their trial, were they separated from their children? Yes, they were. So, look, unaccompanied minors, 30% of those children who they've proven are not related to the adult that they're coming across the border with, yes, they're being separated from those people because those people aren't even related to them. So, but see, it doesn't tug at your heartstrings if you don't say calling them families. You know, the ICE raids that they were having the other day. We were reading those articles, and all of those articles, every single article I read in a mainstream sort of publication, ICE Patrol getting ready to do raids, and it had to mention something about immigrant families, possibly separating immigrant families, not removing people who have a deportation order already on the books from a judge, but ICE Patrol coming to separate families. It sounds they got to make it. It's the propaganda that you hear, and it's an agenda driven, agenda driven article. Not people who already have deportation orders. Oh, that's who ICE is looking for. People who already have a court-ordered deportation. That's a lot different than ICE raiding immigrant families, isn't it? So anyway, Kamala's gonna, as I mentioned, Kamala. I see a couple people talking about Kamala here. Kamala's gonna have some problems because it's funny. Trump the racist now, our racist president, the hashtag that will save the world. If Kamala Harris, I laughed about this the other day too. If Kamala Harris is the nominee for president, Trump has to mention two things. One, Kamala separated a lot of parents from their children as a prosecutor. And Kamala puts a lot of people in jail. Well, President Trump led the act for the First Step Act, which helped a lot of black people get out of jail. So, Kamala, you were putting black people in jail while our president was getting people out of jail. I'm just saying, I'm sure somebody already writing that script just in case Kamala Harris is our nominee, the Democratic nominee. I shouldn't say our nominee. She ain't my nominee. I'm sorry. I had got time for any of those people. Let's see. Let's go check a couple headlines. It's almost time to get into Twitter trends, but I had a couple more headlines here. Let's see. That's dated caller. Oh, we were talking about Jeffrey Epstein the other day. It's funny because, the people on the right are mostly talking about President Clinton in relation to Epstein. People on the left are talking about President Trump when related to Epstein. President Trump's relationship with Epstein is he kicked Epstein's ass out of his club and wouldn't let him come back and talk to the authorities about him, and also were cooperative and when they started trying to take Epstein down. So versus Clinton, whose 26 trips on the Lolita Express have eyebrows raising all over the place. Epstein's friendship with Bill Clinton invoked, former model who reportedly fled his home says. Former Italian model Elisabetta Tai said Jeffrey Epstein stripped naked and handed her a vibrator during a 2004 meeting at his Manhattan mansion. Tai told the New York Post that she threw the vibrator at Epstein's head and ran out of his home. On her way out, Tai said a woman resembling Epstein's alleged Madam Ghislaine Maxwell told her she couldn't leave, said that this man is important, that he's a friend of President Clinton. Oh my God. A member of Jeffrey Epstein's entourage tried to stop a model from fleeing his home by bringing up the financier's friendship with former President Bill Clinton, the New York Post reported Sunday. Former Italian model Elisabetta Tai said in an interview with the Post she secured a meeting with Epstein's Manhattan mansion in 2004 to meet who she understood to be in charge of Victoria's Secret and could get her in the outfitter's catalog. Epstein's only known client is Leslie Wexner, the founder of Victoria's Secret parent company, Ohio-based L Brands. During the meeting, Tai was talking about her prior modeling experience in Italy. Epstein abruptly removed his clothes, laid down naked on a massage table set up near his desk, and told her to approach, Tai said. Tai, who was 21 years old at the time, said Epstein handed her a vibrator when she arrived at the massage table. I froze, Tai told the Post. I didn't know what to do. Tai said she took the vibrator from Epstein, threw it at his head, then fled from the room as fast as she could. Tai said she was accosted on her way out of Epstein's mansion by a woman with short black hair who she told the Post resembled Epstein's alleged Madam Ghislaine Maxwell. She told me that I couldn't leave, Tai said. She said that this man is important, that he is friends of President Clinton. Ugh. This is her. This is Ghislaine Maxwell. She looks serious, don't she? She looks really serious. Like serious, like Nurse Ratched serious. Tai said she never spoke about what happened to her in Epstein's mansion to her booker, who set up the meeting for her. I was too scared to tell anyone, the former model said. I was too shy and scared that someone would come after me to blackmail me or worse. No charges have been filed against Maxwell, but she was accused in a 2015 lawsuit of recruiting underage girls to give sexual massages to Epstein. A federal appeals court document related to the lawsuit to be unsealed on July 3rd. So there's a whole bunch. I mean, We all know Epstein's story. He's a scumbag, and apparently his madam, or his what's to say, his concierge de underage girls, not a good person, not a good human being. I'm telling you. All right, let's see here. Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. I just had to I had to laugh at this one too. New Hampshire poll has Williamson polling ahead of Booker, Gillibrand, and O'Rourke. And Bernie dropped a whole 6 points. To begin with, Marianne Williamson saw a jump of 1.5 points, putting her at 2%, and is polling ahead of Booker, Gillibrand, Gabbard, Inslee, and O'Rourke. Beto at 0%. As Mike wrote this week, somebody needs to tell O'Rourke he's done. Yeah, I don't know why O'Rourke, he's pulling out all the stops, talking about discovering that his ancestors are slaves and shit. I'm sorry, Beto, but you're not happening. We're just not that into you, Beto. I'm sorry, we're not. The young girls like you. You're a cute guy, but damn, we're just not that into you. Here's the thing, Marianne Williamson. You know why Marianne Williamson is making hay in the polls, and you know why she's in the second debate and why she's getting enough funds raised and things like that. Because she's such a goofball that all the people in the GOP that can have been throwing money at her and oh yeah, check your logic, Beto. I mean, I'm not talking about to me. Beto, yeah, is Beto cute? Look, not to me, but he has that boyish look that the kids all like. He doesn't impress me at all. He's and his hands doing this all the time. He looks like he's an air traffic, controller guy on the tarmac. Anyway, and then there's Bernie. He's dropped a whole 6 points, putting him in the middle rung with 10%. As we've blogged before, Bernie was a novelty in a tiny field. In 2020, he's just a very loud old man yelling at clouds compared to the younger, equally as progressive crowd he's battling. For perspective, Andrew Yang is polling at 5%. Mayor Pete is holding steady at 12%. Yeah, that's weird that Bernie is, especially, you'd think in New Hampshire, in that part of the country, he'd be polling a lot higher. Biden maintains a handy lead, but dropped 2 points this April, putting him at 21%. Harris jumped a whopping 11 points, polling at 18%, followed by Warren, who dropped 8 points, polling at 17%. But yeah, Marianne Williamson at 1.5%. What's Madam Moonbeam? Oh my gosh. First the loser, sort of. Marianne Williamson. So she's at 2%. Yeah, she's leading. I mean, the fact that she's leading Booker, Gillibrand, and O'Rourke has more free press than anybody, just because he ran against Ted Cruz. But I don't know. Maybe that should be a sign that if you run somebody who lost their last race, maybe not have him run for president. But that's Beta, whatever the hell his name is. Robert O'Rourke. I need my Lucky Charms. All right. Let's see. What else we got? Oh, you know what? It's late. Let's get into Twitter trends before I go, because I want to see what else is trending today on Twitter. Let's find out what people are talking about so that you are prepared for the rest of the day. Now, real quick on that, I haven't shilled today. So look, if you're here, how many we got? All right, we got a decent amount of people here compared to normal. Hey, the Morning Night Live is sponsored by you right there, you, the watchers of the Morning Night Live. Please be sure that if you haven't done so already, down here, there's an arrow, hit that share button, or if you're missed the beginning and you want to watch later, hit the share button, share it out, because that's the only way I'm going to grow. YouTube is never, ever, ever going to recommend me. I guarantee it. So, hit the share button, hit the like button, hit the dislike button if you don't like what I'm doing, but how can you not like me? Come on, man. And if you need to do super chats, I haven't had any super chats for a while, but that's okay. You don't have to do super chats, but if you want to, you can do them through Streamlabs in the link down below. Or if donations or super chats, I do them through Streamlabs because I'm not monetized, so I can't do them through YouTube. That's up to you, but you don't have to. I'm going to still do this every day. You just bought a brand new Tesla, Kevin. You're balling, dude. You know, it was weird when we were in California. I mean, there's money where I live. I see people wealthy. There were Teslas everywhere. I couldn't believe how many Teslas I saw. Now, granted, there's a lot of cars everywhere. But I mean, we're driving through. We're kind of in the hills, and we're kind of, we're in Bel Air and Beverly Hills and Hollywood and all that area. And we were staying out kind of west. Where were we staying? We were staying almost West Covina, but there were. I mean, yeah, you saw the BMW, the Mercedes, and all the hot cars, but there were Teslas everywhere. I couldn't believe how many damn Teslas we saw. So apparently, there's some really good incentive to buy Teslas in California. Hey, the one thing, and we were in where were we? We were in Santa Monica. And we were going to we hung out at the pier one day. So we were walking through kind of the little, kind of a mall area, just street where you walk down, there's shops everywhere. And there was a Tesla dealer there. We were checking those out. Their Teslas are pretty damn hot cars. You got to plan. You're not going to take any long trips in Teslas, but they're great cars for the city. And apparently you can set them up, to race something, to race bogey. Yeah, apparently. I mean, they're kind of like, if you remember, any of y'all remember slot cars? You had these little cars and they had tracks you'd put together and they had slots, they had a little pin, and there are these little electric cars and you race them around the tracks you build, okay? And when you hit that gun and they would just go boom, they'd take off like a rocket. Well, you can do that in Teslas. Oh, you're going to race boogie. Yeah, Teslas are like slot cars. If you hit the gas hard, they just like immediate power. And so there's a whole, look on YouTube and watch, they set some of them up to actually race on drag strips, and those things can move. They're pretty hot. So anyway, let's check out the Twitter trends today. Let me go back into the home on Twitter, get into trends. Oh my gosh. I forgot. This is still trending. This has been trending all morning. And it started trending last night. Number one trending on Twitter today. Obama was better at. Well, we already know he was better at deporting people than any other president in history because he deported more people. But let's see what the top one's for. Obama was better at droning American citizens and justifying it. Hey, that's the truth? Huh. Obama was better at trends after Trump attacks minority congresswomen. Yeah, the Hill attacks minority congresswomen. Of course, that's the headline. I don't think they're happy with what actually people are writing, the top ones. Bridget Gabriel says Obama was better at making terrible deals with countries that hate us, at looking Americans right in the eye and lying to them. This country was close to collapse because of Obama. Thankfully, President Trump has us back on track. Okay, let's just say, close to collapse? No, we were not. Okay, let's be honest. We had a recession. The recession started ending just before Obama got into the office. Obama during his presidency, we didn't have any great rise in anything, but the economy grew steady, slowly. No, we were not on the brink of collapse. However, we weren't growing very fast either. We weren't creating new jobs. Wages weren't rising. He made fun of Trump for saying that he could make economic growth happen. He made fun of Trump for that. And what happened soon as 2 years into Trump's presidency? All the things that Obama said would never happen again have been happening. So, no, he didn't. He wasn't. The country was not close to collapse, but it wasn't improving either. Okay, we were already getting out of the recession before he was sworn in. Okay, so there you go. The country didn't fall apart when Obama was there. And a great number of people in the country loved him. You know, it is what it is. I don't think he was all that great. I think he was kind of like FDR in the fact that everyone claims that FDR was the reason we got out of the Great Depression. No, that's not true. You know that's not true. He prolonged it. He prolonged the misery. Okay, so in some ways, Obama did. Anyway, the economy right now has nothing to do with Obama. Obama was a good place marker while we weren't getting any better. This one says Obama was better at everything, literally every single thing. Yeah, I don't know about that. Obama was better at hiding all the scandals that he says he didn't have. Holy crap, you know, and we're finding more and more out about them now. Oh, this will be a fun game. Obama was better at caving to terrorists. Obama was better at spying on private citizens. Check. Obama was better at lying to the American people. Check. What a complete embarrassment Obama was for this country. Thank goodness we have President Trump. I don't know. You know what? You want to say he's an embarrassment. You know, some foreign leaders liked him. Some foreign leaders thought he was a chump. We're finding that out more and more. Obama was better at genuinely caring for all people while also leading, championing, and defending our nation with focused and fierce strength. Yep, just like now. Look, I don't believe in being a sycophant for any president. I am not. I respect the policies of the Trump administration. I don't necessarily love Trump, but he's doing a decent job as far as the actual presidential stuff, the stuff he's supposed to be doing. Y'all know I don't like his style, but hey, his style works for him. More power to him. I can't worship him, and I sure as hell don't worship Obama. There are people who worship Obama, and there are people who worship President Trump. I don't worship any president. Hey, if they're doing their job, I'm happy. If they're not doing their job, I am not happy. I don't think Obama was that great. He was okay. He did, he didn't break shit, but he wasn't that great. Sorry. And he had tons of scandals. And he used departments in the government to F with people he didn't like. That's the fact. Obama was better at committing treason than crazy ISIS. Oh, Lord. He was certainly better at messing up countries. Libya, Guatemala, Honduras. Those countries were way worse off because of the Obama administration. In fact, there's some slave. Obama, you know what? Beto O'Rourke says his family owned slaves back in the day. Obama said, "Hold my beer. I'm going to fuck up Kenya." And now there's slave trade in Kenya. All right. So there you go. Obama's better at not being a tub of shit. Okay. You don't like, that's someone who doesn't like Obama. Obama was better at, I could list so many things, but something so simple as smiling. When Obama smiled, it was kind, loving, full of joy. When Trump smiles, it's creepy, full of hate and sinister. That is your opinion. Obama was better at chivalry. Obama was better at killing babies. Oh, good Lord. Oh. Obama to Planned Parenthood abortion biz. God bless you. Yeah. Even me, who's like, I think abortion should be legal, but I think it needs to be limited. And ouch. I won't praise. Praising Planned Parenthood. Obama was better at getting along with those who saw the diminishing America was as a good thing for the rest of the world. There you go. And that was the thing. He thought America had too much influence in the world, and he was working to lessen our influence. I don't think that was a smart thing to do. Okay? Too much of the world depends on us to be that nation that makes sure everything just stays square. So there you go. Yeah, everything. Executive leadership. Yeah, there's a lot of giving speeches. Oh, yeah. Whatever. Economic growth off. Oh, my God. Okay, here's a list for you. Obama's better at executive leadership. Voicing ideals. Oh, voicing ideals. He sure couldn't execute. Economic growth. Nope. Respecting others. Yeah, he was. He was sort of. I mean, he wasn't as bombastic as Trump. Trump's a bombastic Trump. If Trump finds out you said something nasty about him, you're going to know about it because he's going to tweet about it. You know? That's why he doesn't like Rashida Tlaib. What was the first thing in her acceptance speech of which she won? Something about, we're going to impeach that motherfucker. Well, I guess you're not going to be invited to the cookout. Oh, Lord, I shouldn't have said that because that's a black thing. and Trump's, I don't know. You're not going to be invited to the Rose Garden. Youth involvement. You know, hey, Trump is pretty good at that. Obama, okay? Tweeting. That just depends. Humility. Oh my God. Humility? No. Obama was never humble. And that's okay. I don't expect that someone in that type of position needs to be humble, but the idea that he was humble, no, sorry. International diplomacy. Yeah, well, you know what? Here's the thing. North Korea and South Korea are on the brink of ending a 50 or 60-year-old, 70-year-old war, and they're in talks, and our people in NATO are now finally starting to, live up to their share of their own responsibility for defense. And let's see what else. I don't know. And here's the other thing. Trump hasn't destroyed any third world countries yet. Just saying. Libya. How about, well, Haiti. Haiti, that's more a Clinton thing. So, yeah, I don't know about diplomacy. Well, it depends. What are you talking about? Diplomacy sounding good or actually having results? Negotiating. I don't know. I didn't see Mexico trying to help with our immigration issues from Central America when Obama was in there. Did they? Now they said a couple of their ex-presidents said something about we're not going to pay a dime toward that wall, but guess what? Mexico's cooperating around, isn't he? Aren't they? Giving speeches, yeah. Obama gave soaring, high, lofty speeches. Good for him. All right, not terrifying the shit out of children. Oh, whatever. Marriage. Yeah, Obama was better at marriage. He had one marriage. Good for him. I'll give him that. So anyway, all right. I got to get out of this hashtag because it'll drive me nuts. The sycophants and the haters. I don't care. Whatever. Number 2, Eric Garner is trending. Oh, here we go. Now, we're going to get into this tomorrow. Federal prosecutors declined to file civil rights charges against NYPD officer Daniel Pantaleo. In 2014, Pantaleo used a fatal chokehold. False! That is false. And I'm going to prove it tomorrow. We'll do this tomorrow. We're going to... Now, the New York coroner said something about this, and in the coroner report, said that they were. Let's keep it simple. Eric Garner was not choked to death, and I will prove it tomorrow. We'll go frame by frame in the video. Okay. Let's see if this. I'm gonna click on this. 2000. Okay. Yeah, this is a lie. In 2014, New York police officer Daniel Pantaleo used a fatal chokehold on Eric Garner, whose final words, "I can't breathe," became a rallying cry in the fight against police brutality. On Tuesday, federal prosecutors declined to file federal charges. Gosh darn it. Let's see. I want to read this. Let's see this. I got to get out of here. NYPD officer who killed Eric Garner. He didn't. Oh my gosh. Well, it's a CNN article, of course. Let's read it. The Justice Department will not bring federal charges against New York police officer accused of fatally choking Eric Garner, the New York man whose last words, "I can't breathe." I don't even think those were his last words. He didn't die at the scene. He died on the route to the hospital where he was breathing fine. He wasn't being choked in the ambulance. "I can't breathe" became a rallying cry in the Black Lives Matter movement. 3 sources familiar with the matter said Tuesday. Why do they need... Wait a minute. What? Oh, that's okay. Federal authorities had a deadline of Wednesday, 5 years since Garner's death, to decide whether to bring charges against New York NYPD officer Dan Pantaleo. The officer appeared in a cell phone interview to have Garner appeared in a cell phone video to have Garner in a chokehold shortly before he died. Pantaleo denied that he used a chokehold. There is absolute video evidence, and we're gonna go through it tomorrow. We're gonna go through it tomorrow because anyone who can speak is not being choked. Okay, as clearly as he was saying those words, he was in the middle of having a heart attack. The first time Garner said he cannot breathe, Pantaleo immediately removed his arm from the guy's neck. They held him to the ground. Both of Pantaleo's hands were on his shoulders. He was saying, "I can't breathe, I can't breathe," which is common when you are having a heart attack. You feel like you cannot breathe. I've watched someone have a heart attack and they were saying the exact same words. And they revived him at the scene, put him in an ambulance. He was breathing in the ambulance, died on the way to the hospital. He did not die of the chokehold. But that is the common myth. And the "I can't breathe" became absolutely a rallying cry for Black Lives Matter. Let's see. Now, City Medical Examiner's Office ruled the death a homicide days after his death, and the medical examiner testified that Pantaleo's alleged chokehold caused an asthma attack and was part of the lethal cascade of events. So up here, okay, even here, the officer appeared in a cell phone video to have Garner in a chokehold shortly before he died. How does a chokehold cause an asthma attack? Okay, here's the article from let's see, what's the date on this one? August 2nd, 2014. New York City Medical Examiner Office Friday confirmed what demonstrators had been saying for weeks. A police officer's chokehold on a man being arrested for selling loose cigarettes killed him. Eric Garner, 43, died July 17th after being confronted by police on Staten Island for allegedly selling cigarettes illegally, which Mayor de Blasio demanded that his police office start doing. De Blasio sent out an order to the police department that they were trying to crack down on people selling loose cigarettes because they weren't getting the tax money for them. So this was a de Blasio policy to start taking these guys down. During the encounter, Garner raised both hands in the air. Oh my God. During the encounter, Garner raised both hands in the air and told the officers not to touch him. Oh my, he slapped an officer's hands away. That's when they decided to take him down. He didn't raise his hands in the, oh my God. Second later, A video shows the officer behind him grab the 350-pound man in a chokehold and pull him to the sidewalk, rolling him onto his stomach. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Let's look at this video. Let's see how much of this video they actually show, and then I got to get out of here. Oh, never mind. It's a commercial. We'll do this tomorrow. I don't have time to do
my place as clean as I would.
Unbelievable. Attorney and police union question a doctor's view a chokehold killed Eric Garner. She isn't backing down. Good for her. A defense lawyer at New York City Police Union have cast doubt on her findings that an officer's chokehold led to Eric Garner's death. But the medical examiner stood by her conclusion during Wednesday's testimony. Under question from Suzanne O'Hare, the city's Civilian Complaint Review Board, which is acting as prosecution in the proceedings, medical examiner Floriana Persino said Officer Daniel Pantaleo caused Garner to have an asthma attack when he put the 43-year-old in chokehold during a 2014 arrest. The chokehold, she said, was part of the lethal cascade of events, explaining that the application of pressure on the anterior neck is a painful phenomenon. Persicino said. Garner's neck displayed fresh hemorrhaging when she examined him. In my opinion, the hemorrhaging was due to compression of the neck by the chokehold, she said. Shown footage of the arrest, which Pantaleo wraps his forearm around Garner, she said, in my opinion, that's a chokehold. The chokehold, the so-called chokehold wrapping around, and it may have been a chokehold. I don't know if it was or not, but he immediately released it. He got up on him, had his arms around his neck. As soon as the first second the guy said something about not being able to breathe, his arm was gone. And we'll show that tomorrow. The days after Garner's death, Persicino's office announced Garner's cause of death was a compression of neck, chokehold, compression of chest, and prone positioning during physical restraint by police. Yeah, he never, the chokehold was, oh my God. Police said he suffered a heart attack on the way to the hospital. Pantaleo's attorney previously called the autopsy report wrong and Persicino's findings inaccurate. He has blamed the 350-pound death on obesity and other health issues. Those assertions have been echoed by the New York City Police Benevolent Association as president. He was a ticking time bomb and set these facts into motion by resisting arrest. Absolutely true, Stuart London said. But he was being arrested for Lucy cigarettes, which is Mayor de Blasio's fault. He had a crackdown, no tolerance policy on people selling Lucy cigarettes. All right, we'll get into that a lot deeper tomorrow. We're going to go through that video tomorrow because I've been wanting to ask about that for a long time. I want to find a medical expert. I want to find a medical expert and maybe we'll talk about that because I'm sorry. If he's a 350-pound man with asthma, the chokehold didn't set it off. His exacerbated state of agitation set it off when he was resisting arrest and the police took him down. And he was talking the whole time. He didn't die from the chokehold. Okay? But you know what? It's New York. The medical examiner has to probably has to have some. There has to be a narrative for the mayor, you know, because the mayor, he can't bring up the fact that the mayor was put police out on the street worrying about people selling Lucy cigarettes instead of other crime that was happening in New York. He had 6 officers up against this 350-pound man because he was selling Lucy's. All right, frustrating. Oh my God. So we're gonna be hearing about this shit all day. This will be number 1. I guarantee it. It's already number 2. It will be number 1 and probably for the rest of the day. The officer who killed Eric Garner. Legal Aid New York City says it's now up to New York City Mayor to deliver some measure of justice by firing Officer Daniel Pantaleo, who has been on the force and the city's payroll since the 2014 incident. A woman who identified herself as Eric Garner's daughter reacted emotionally upon leaving the meeting with EDNY News officials. She said the family was told there would be no charges. Some national action, that's Al Sharpton's group, officials said her name is Emerald Garner, but she would not confirm. So there's some people pissed off about this. I understand it. And here's the thing, man. Cory Booker had to jump in. This decision is wrong, unjust, a painful reminder of just how broken our criminal justice system is. Eric Garner should be alive today. I pray his loved one finds peace. You can blame Mayor de Blasio for that. I'm just saying. Oh, God. Shame on NYPD O'Neill. Your office had 5 years to fire Daniel Pantaleo for the murder of Eric Garner. The chokehold has been banned by the NYPD for 15 years. He should have been fired the next day. We're going to watch that video. We're going to watch the video. Oh, my gosh. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. The guy should not be dead. Absolutely should not. He should not be dead over some cigarettes. So Mayor de Blasio, you were missing some tax money, and then all of a sudden you got your police chasing out guys selling loosies. But I'm sorry. And then the guy too, again, why you're doing the shit illegally, and then you resist arrest the way you you swung at an officer. Okay, the second you swing at an officer, he didn't put his hands up. That's a lie. They got their stories mixed up in that one story. He didn't put his hands up. He slapped the officer's hand away and was fighting with him rather than just saying, "All right, guys, you got me. We'll figure this out later." Never swing at an officer, because you swing at an officer with other officers around. That's it. They have license to beat your ass, and even if it's just a stupid little crime like selling loosies. Oh my God. And now her mother, we're not going away, Eric Garner's mother says, following a DOJ Department of Justice. You think it's swept out of the rug? No, it's not going to be swept out of the rug, because I'm out here. Y'all know my face. We're going to see it. You're going to see it even more now. So now we're going to get this riled up. It's not good, man. It's unfortunate, man. But he should. So they're gonna probably. I'm sure New York. Someone's gonna charge him in New York, or something. This will be number one for most of the day, and it's just exacerbated by the idea that we got to make. We got to make everything about. It's just you know what? Somehow now let's see. When did this happen? 2014. It's gonna somehow this is gonna. It's all gonna be about Trump and about the Trump Justice Department. And, the current GOP led this and that. 2014, let's see. 2015, 2016, until January 20th, 2017. Who's president? Who's Justice Department? Barack Obama. What was that hashtag? Obama was better at? Oh, you're going to see this. I'm going to take hell for this. But Obama was better at prosecuting the officer who killed Eric Garner Oh, wait. Nope. Nope, I'm not doing it. Hey, remember yesterday when I said the hashtag think before you tweet? I'm choosing to take my own advice. I'm just not interested in stirring up that heat. I'm not a shit stirrer. I should be a shit stirrer on Twitter. I am not. But you know what? If y'all blame this on Trump's Justice Department, remember, Loretta Lynch, Barack Obama, they were all part of that for 3 years. If they really thought he should have been prosecuted for charges, they should have done it then. Sorry, you had the chance because, and if so, I don't know. We'll check this out later. All right, let's get out of this. Oh, I gotta go. I'm not even gonna get. Let's see what else. Apollo 11. We already talked about that. The Emmys. Oh God, I don't even want to know. We'll figure out all this other stuff tomorrow because I gotta be done today. Hey everybody, I gotta thank you for being here today at the Morning Night Live. But it's just sometimes I gotta go. I just gotta go. I just got to go. So thank you all for doing what you do. I hope you had fun in the chat. Also, thanks for the people who tweeted out. Rolling Bear and Sarah tweeted out the links today. Dar also, Seamus Derby. Thanks for doing that. And I got to go. I'm here Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 2 p.m. GMT for those of you in other parts of the country. And hey, I just got to thank you again. If you haven't done so already, make sure that you hit the like button, hit the share button. If you ever want to do donations or super chats, that's always available through the Streamlabs link. And we'll be here tomorrow, Wednesday. We're going to get caught up on the Jussie Smollett saga because we do that on Jussie Wednesdays. Until it ends, there's got to be something new. And don't forget, Thursday is FTG Thursday. If you got nominations, start throwing those in. You can do that in the in my DMs on Twitter at Dawg Knight, or on my email, pdogknight@gmail.com. Thank you all for being here. I gotta go. My name is Dawg Knight, and I am out of here. Hey, this is Dawg Knight, and I want to thank you for joining me today on the Dawg Knight channel. Before you go, if you like what you saw and you're not already subscribed, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button down below, and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, and 2 p.m. GMT. A special thanks to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through our Streamlabs link in the description below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here.